Good morning, and welcome back to Morning Strategy, where we slow down, think clearly, and lead intentionally. Grab your coffee, settle in, and take these next few minutes for yourself. This is your daily moment to pause, plan, and focus on what truly matters. Because successful days start with clarity. Good morning, and welcome to Morning Strategy. Today, we're talking about something every entrepreneur, leader, or creator faces at some point: knowing when to pivot. A pivot isn't a failure. It's a strategy. It's a conscious decision to shift direction in your business, career, or personal goals when what you're doing isn't giving you the results you need, or when a better opportunity shows itself. But how do you know when to pivot, and how do you pivot without losing momentum? Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the signs it might be time to pivot. One of the clearest indicators is repeated stagnation. You've tried multiple approaches, experimented with different strategies, and invested time and energy, but the results aren't coming. Maybe sales are flat, engagement isn't growing, or your project isn't resonating the way you thought it would. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's data telling you to reassess. Another sign is external change. Markets shift, trends evolve, and customer needs change. What worked last year, or even last quarter, might no longer be the best path forward. A pivot can be as simple as adjusting your messaging, tweaking your product, or targeting a slightly different audience. Sometimes, it's a bigger leap, a new business model, a new service, or even a completely different industry. But before you make any pivot, you need clarity. Ask yourself, what's my ultimate goal? Am I chasing vanity metrics, or am I focused on meaningful progress? It's easy to confuse activity with growth. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're moving in the right direction. Take a step back and analyze the numbers, feedback, and results objectively. Next, consider the cost of staying the course versus pivoting. What's the opportunity cost of continuing down a path that isn't working? What could you gain if you redirected your focus? Sometimes, pivoting is the fastest way to preserve energy, resources, and momentum. Now, let's talk about mindset. Pivoting can feel scary because it comes with uncertainty. But think about it this way: continuing on a path that's clearly not working is riskier than recalibrating. The pivot isn't giving up, it's adapting. It's about being flexible and resilient. It's about turning a challenge into an opportunity. When you decide to pivot, be deliberate. Identify what's working and what's not. Keep the elements that bring results, and adjust the rest. Communicate your pivot clearly if you have a team, clients, or customers who will be affected. People respond well to transparency, especially when they see the reasoning behind the change. Timing is also key. Don't pivot too quickly, and don't wait too long. Give your current efforts enough time to show measurable results, but set a deadline for evaluation. This gives structure to your decision-making process and removes the trap of endless trial and error. Finally, embrace the learning that comes from every pivot. Even if the new direction doesn't immediately succeed, you've gained insights that you wouldn't have otherwise. Every pivot teaches you something about your business, your audience, and most importantly, yourself. Remember, pivoting is a sign of strength. It shows that you're paying attention, staying agile, and committed to long-term success rather than short-term comfort. The entrepreneurs, leaders, and creators who thrive are the ones who can read the signals, make a smart pivot, and keep moving forward with purpose. So today, I want you to ask yourself, where am I stubbornly holding on? Where am I ignoring the data, the feedback, or my own intuition? And where might a pivot bring the growth, clarity, or energy I've been looking for? Take action today. Even a small pivot, changing one approach, refining your focus, or testing a new idea, can shift the trajectory of your week, your business, and your life. That's your morning strategy for today: knowing when to pivot. Stay flexible, stay alert, and keep moving toward the success you're creating. See you tomorrow.